All right. So, a couple of things, right? Right now, he's kind of giving me what I want, which is awesome. But let's say that he's postured all the way up. This is going to be a tough position to get this from, right? So we're still going to start off the same way we did last week. Whenever you're here, you're protecting yourself and use your knee to bump them forward so that they have to plant. From there, I'm going to reach out and don't do a big reach. I'll go to this side. Don't do a big reach out here. I'm going to go from here to elbow in tight and just scooping the elbow. One small thing, I kind of get like a false grip, like in gymnastics, the way that you reach all the way around, because this is tough to actually gain control, but if I can get a little bit more over when I pinch in, I'm good. I'm gonna hold it in tight. Notice again, the elbows come in super tight to my body. I don't wanna be out here, this is weak as far as my strength goes, and it gives him a pathway back out. If I can be in here, this keeps his arm trapped. The other thing, you have to make sure, notice his elbow is inside of his shoulder. That's a big part of this one. If his elbow is outside, then when I go to bump, he's got a base. So I want to make sure that I pinch it in here and his shoulder's on the outside of his elbow. From here, we're going to make sure that we bump him all the way up until he's about to touch the floor with his forehead, and then we go to the side. It's very important that I don't just try to do this. He's got his knee right here. He's not going to go. I have to give a solid bump up, bridging, and then coming over. And then from here, we're just going to posture up. So, probably a couple more times we'll go over this one. And again, I want to build this habit worst case scenario. So he's going to start postured because this is where people are going to start. And honestly, in no-gi MMA scenario, this is a tough grip to try to just get on somebody. He's just going to yank his arm back out. Even if I'm trying to get here, it's really tough, especially after a minute when we start sweating. So the first thing I'm going to do is bump him so that he has to plant. Then I'm going to reach out and I'm just going to pinch it in tight here. This hand is going to come in support of this grip that I have on his elbow. This is also super important. One arm is not going to be enough to hold a slippery person. Two arms is barely enough, but it is enough. And then from here again, notice if I just go straight to the side, he's going to keep his knee there and just base. So if I do this, he's going to just keep pushing back into me, and then I'm just going to waste a lot of effort. So when I'm here, I have to bump all the way up, bridge, hold that bridge while I roll, and then I'm here. As soon as I'm here, I'm basing on his chest, face, whatever I have to posture up. Good? So we talk about look to the ceiling. You probably don't have to go that much so long as your back is straight, but it is a good habit to help in the beginning because posture is super important. I want to make sure I'm not down here necessarily where he could start attacking me a little. I want to get my posture and then start attacking.